Ji, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is Naeem here, and today I am honored and blessed to have Ma'am Rosina Asif with me. I came to know about her from the book, Everything You Should Have Learned at School But You Did Not. And she is in chapter 23. Pay attention to tiny hints, signals in your life, Rosina Asif, page 104. So if you want to know more about her story, go through this book. This is easy, free to download, and I will give the download link in the video description. And for a brief introduction for Ma'am Rosina Asif, she is happily married with 3 sons, mashallah. That makes her Baji Rosina Asif. And she is currently, mashallah, heading a international school chain in Pakistan. So without further delay, I would like Ma'am Rosina Asif to give us a little bit background of yourself and why you are in the book.
Yeah, well, thank you so much, Sir Naeem Mushtaq, and I'm honored to be the part of this, interview. I must say, it's a chance, I must say, that has appeared in my life by, it's always when you connect back the dots, you come to know that life is life is actually taking you some points. I always wanted to be a writer, but I never ever identified this skill since I was given the chance to write in this book in a formal manner.
So mashallah, you also write in the newspaper.
Yeah, I've written so many articles, and let me tell you one interesting thing how I started writing, by the way. I started writing, I got this opportunity when I had a conversation with one of my friend, and it is about one of the sad topic that my student, he committed suicide when he was in university. I knew him when he was in A-levels, and we were discussing this thing, and I asked my son to record our video and just make it public, so whatever we are discussing as an educationist and whatever we are discussing as a mother, it should be public and everyone should take advantage of it. And because I really felt that we being as a mother, we being as an educationist, we being as a friend, we being as a colleague, we being as a society failed at that moment, and that is why that child has committed the suicide.
Exactly.
Because each one of us could have played a vital role to save that life. So that conversation was quite intense, and I asked my son to make a video of it, and he said, "Mama, you can't do that." I said, "Why?" He said, "Mama, your skill is writing." So I said, how can I write? He said, "Mama, you write on diaries, you write on small chats, so just combine all those thoughts and make a one blog." I said, "What is blog?" I didn't know at that time what is blog writing even. So he created my blog, and eventually I start writing, and then on first day of Eid, my article was published in the newspaper, and that was again an interesting story. I never thought that my article will ever be published in any newspaper, because I always thought it's a big shots who gave money and their articles got public. So I was lucky enough.
So your son became your first writing mentor.
Yes, and he is my inspiration. He gave me that energy to write, in fact.
And where did you learn this exceptionally good communication skills?
As you have already introduced to me, that I am basically heading one of the private school system. So that exposure itself is quite enough to polish my communication.
Mashallah, mashallah. And your husband also supports you a lot?
Oh, without his supports, definitely I cannot. He is the one at the back of everything, whatever I am right now.
Mashallah. And he must be watching this video at the moment.
He will be watching this video.
भाईजान अस्सलाम वालेकुम, ਤੁਹਾਡੀ इजाज़त है, बाजी का इंटरव्यू कर रहे हैं, तो गलती हो जाए तो माफ़ी. तो बहरहाल, okay, now tell us your article in the book. Pay attention to tiny hint signal in your life, and this is a very, very good article. I would say rather a short summary of your life.
Yes.
And what you want to tell to the youth
Yes.
in schools or in public in general. So tell us about the title. What do you mean by that? What do you want to convey?
You know, I wanted to convey that there are always, life is telling you different, it's showing you different signals. You need to pay attention to those signals. Actually, and when those signals are repeatedly coming to your life, that's a sign that you should pay attention to that, because that's something coming from inside, in fact. So in this article, I wanted to tell the youth that please do identify your potential, and identification of potential will never come in a way, it will never come in a transparent or in a black and white form in front of you one day, one odd day you'll wake up and you think some letter will be beside your pillow that you have this passion or something. You have to identify it, and that is something coming from inside. Let me tell you that very first time when I spoke on a farewell party of my student, I really spoke from my heart. And the next day, majority of my student had the heading on their Facebook, which I was speaking there in that farewell, that I do not want to say goodbye. I just want you to say, I want to say, stay connected. Whenever you are happy, tag us. Whenever you need us, just message us. So that was the heading of all the Facebook, the very next day. Yes.
Tell us how parents can play an important role in home to train their child to pay attention to tiny things.
You know what, curriculum itself is there with every system, and they're very well defined, and I feel there is a need of the curriculum, a set curriculum, to have the unified kind of education. But the role of the parent is very important. It's not only the curriculum that develops the child holistic personality. It's basically the participation in different activities. It is basically their exposure to different activities. It is basically to polish their innate talent. They might be good in music, they might be good in photography, they might be good in leadership qualities and all that. Parents need to make them confident, talk to them what is their interest is, and then have a meeting with the school heads, and then connect that interest with whatever is available in the school portfolio. It's not only good for developing the soft skill which is needed for the future, but it is equally good to build the portfolio for the university application in Pakistan and in abroad both.
So there is an unwritten curriculum starting from home, which parents need to pay attention, number one. Secondly, when the child comes into the school, then the second parents are the teachers.
Yes.
What teachers need to do apart from routine activities in the classroom to groom the students?
Teacher has a very less room to play with the curriculum, but the system I am attached with, or there are many other private school system, I must say, the one who believes in the holistic development of the child, they think that curriculum is not the end. They always provide the teacher with the liberty to select the methodology themselves. But that selection of the methodology itself is bringing the change in the classroom practices, and from there catering the different need level of the student will be identified.
Okay, mashallah. Now you have your social media account, you have your own YouTube channel?
Not yet.
You should have, because you speak mashallah very nicely.
Thank you so
much. You
much.
have the writing capability, your story is there. Now you are a published author. You are published in the newspaper, so the newspaper journalist community knows you very well, Pakistan knows you very well. Now international community knows you very well by being in this book. And you are here. She's here now. You can see that. I missed her last time, so this is our finder, Roseen Asif. So
thank you.
Lovely. And I would suggest that maybe you can you can start your own YouTube channel, and you can start maybe your own revolutionary video series in a short 5 to 10 minutes.
I would love to, inshallah. Thank you very much for the encouragement. I'll take it forward, inshallah.
No, inshallah, you should do that. Now, we were talking about school. Now, another thing is the government level. What the government can do to enhance or maybe to polish the school curriculum and the environment at all.
I think when the national curriculum, single national curriculum was out, there is a lot of debate we can have on that. But being as an educational myself since 22 years, what I find or what I believe that government should give or the private school systems, the one who are really having a good repute in the society, and they are really developing a very well-groomed, youngsters who are, because we believe, we as a private educationist, we believe that education is beyond the boundaries. You cannot restrict education in four walls or in certain cultural and societal boundaries. We need to make our students open up to learn different other things. So very first thing, in my opinion, any one institution, the private institution, can take the responsibility of any one public institution, train their teachers, go and give the lecture to their classes, and government should not have a competition with the private school system. Rather, they should take advantage of the technologies and the methodologies and the capacity of the private school system, and should enhance their public school system through their involvement.
Exactly. Now, in your story here in chapter 23, you wrote very beautifully, and your heart knows how to connect and create an impact. So you're talking about heart. Normally, our entire education system deals with the mind.
Yes.
And when it comes to heart, we talk about spirituality.
Yes.
And nowadays there is a movement, universal movement in every school in the world, is to connect children with emotions and heart, spirituality and religion, because we have gone through the experiment of secular education.
Yes.
They only produce skillful people, but heart is not there.
Heart is not.
So this is the now main agenda of the organization, is to create an organizational environment where people can connect with one another heart to heart, not just mind to mind. So in your school system and in your own personality, I've seen that you want students to be connected more with spirituality, emotions and religion also, which means another way is to develop spiritual aspect of their students in the classroom. How do you deal with these kind of challenges in this class?
You know what, anything from which if you take the emotions out, it is just dry. It's better to keep the emotions attached in a way that it connects you with the people around, and connection is very important. Otherwise it would have been very difficult for people to understand each other. This understanding develops when there is an emotion attached to it, because then you allow the other person to speak its heart out, then you allow the other perspective to be out, and then when you allow the other perspective to be out, you learn through it. For many years you might believe on one thing, but when you investigate through sharing, you come to know there are so many other beliefs that exist as well. So people are not always wrong, they are different from each other, and that difference is basically the source of learning.
Exactly, lovely. And one final last question is, normally we teach students and young children how to deal with happiness.
Yes.
But we do not tell them how to deal with pain and suffering. And your concept of pay attention to tiny signals, it means what we need to pay attention is the things that we ignore and then we suffer. How do you have your own, mashallah, 3 sons, how do you train them to be ready and to deal with the experience of pain?
I always tell my sons that life is going to end when it will end. Before that you have to live it. So live the moment. And if you are, for example, if you fail in any one thing, that's not the end of the life. The end of the life is when you'll stop breathing. Till that, you need to explore more, you need to adjust with it, and you need to bounce back, because this time the failure is actually your experience. So we need to eliminate this word of failure from our life. We need to add the word of experience in our life.
Exactly.
That's the shortcut.
Yeah, mashallah. So that's a little bit of our discussion. This is basically a gup shop, coffee with friends, and thank you very much for coming, and I hope you enjoyed the discussion, and please go through the book. You will read her story, you will enjoy it. And to Asif Bhaijan, you are very lucky. Thank you very much. Baji has exceptionally good communication skills. I encourage her to record video. Maybe you have 3 friends and then you can start, gupshup with friends. There's a book, Theology at the Coffee Shop.
Oh,
I'll send you the PDF.
No, please
This is the
show.
same concept. Two theologians, they sit in the coffee shop, have a cup of coffee with them, and they talk about God and reality and values in a conversational, gupshup manner.
That's
so
very good.
sometimes serious things can be discussed in a very relaxing with a cup of coffee.
yeah, and
that is
there's
the
always,
moment-
yes,
yeah, and
that's
that-
the moment, yes.
And that's the moment when you get more ideas
More
with a
ideas.
cup of coffee.
And my these two friends, I must mention their name, Noshaba and Hamna. They really played a vital role in my life, and whatever I am today is because of my husband,
Mashallah.
because of my parents, because of my son and my these two friends.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah. So, Asif Baijan, thank you so much for watching.
Thank you, Asif, for giving me this confidence to be here.
No, MashaAllah. I can see his support in your behavior
Yes.
and your skills.
Very
MashaAllah,
supportive, yes.
MashaAllah. And this is a lesson for all the other husbands who are listening. And thank you very much. And inshallah, we'll get back to you with another, episode. And Khuda Hafiz and Allah Hafiz.
Thank you, Allah Hafiz.